Hello friends, how you doing? Day 826, hope you're doing amazing. We're just finishing up a workshop here about communication of solidarity. And my friend Emily here actually was running it. I'll bring her on in. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, and I found it actually really,
He doesn't stay very long though.
Like he doesn't.
I was gonna say useful, but I think this is a very powerful tool. And so I'm just wondering, can you share a little bit about what the workshop's about and what you're hoping to have come from it?
Yes. Okay. So I started this workshop. I've only given a couple so far. Communication of solidarity, because I'm in a number of movements for animal rights and climate change and old growth, and I find myself within a movement. One of the contributing factors that can slow it down towards positive action is infighting, is personal conflicts between activists. So I would really like to bring this workshop to activist communities and other communities outside of this to give them a tool to communicate their hurt feelings or conflicts in an effective way to keep in connection and solidarity. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome, I love it. I could definitely tell you're a little bit nervous, but she did amazing, guys. She did awesome. And there were a few people who've done it before, right?
Yeah, a couple of us have done it before,
Yeah.
and really like to practice regularly because it's a tool we have to exercise. One thing I'd like to point out, the basis of the communication workshop is a communication model that I used from The Haven on Gabriola Island. It's a self-growth immersion facility, and they teach this to their participants. So I found it as a useful tool for my work, family life, friends, activism, in order to understand people from a place of curiosity and bring our awkward feelings forward to work through.
Yes, definitely. That is very powerful, friends. Like I think I have decent communication, but after kind of going through this, I was like, man, I could definitely be better, a lot better. So I was like, man, but it definitely requires practice. And so let me show you the some of the facets of communicating more effectively. And so, you want to share anything about these?
Yeah, so all of this should just take like under 5 minutes or maybe a minute each section. So first thing you want to do when you want to approach somebody with something that might be giving you tension, that you want to ask for consent if they have space. Once that's there, you can tell them the context, like what is the topic that you're considering. Next, you could share like your intention. So it's really important to get in touch with your intention. When we enter conversation with somebody to come to a resolution or understanding, we want to make sure that we're coming from a place to connect rather than to harm. And if we're in a position that we might want to hurt the other person, we need to take a step back and look inwards before approaching.
Mm-hmm.
So figure out your intention. Next is to share your feeling, and it's really important to use I statements in nonviolent communication because we're taking accountability and it reduces the chances of defense of the other party. So sharing a feeling, then a perception would be more of the facts, like I saw you do this, I heard you say this. Facts that aren't left to interpretation, so brief sentence. And then we can come down to interpretation. So this is our story. If there's an action somebody does and we make a story out of it based on our past experiences, so our feelings and emotions are valid, however, they might not be the truth. And in respectful communication, there's our story as well as the other person's story, and both deserve to be heard. So you think you're making this story, what are you making this mean? What are you making this situation mean? And you communicate that to the other person. And then you want to check it out. Is it accurate? Is it the truth? And next step will be action. Maybe after checking out your story, you find that it's true or not true, but there's an action attached to that, maybe a boundary. Or maybe you want to meet for coffee and talk about things in a deeper way.
Should we make some food?
Awesome. So friends, check it out. This is really good. I'm gonna take a picture as well. I'll post it in the comments. And the last thing I actually wanted to ask you was this: what is this wheel of feelings? What is this?
Yes, wheel of feelings. So I think in today's society, sometimes it can be challenging to really get in touch with what's happening inwards and figure out what emotion that we might be feeling. So the feeling wheel can help us figure out, you know, where this activation is. Are you afraid? Are you sad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can you just Google this as well to see this?
I'm pretty sure you search feeling wheel, there'd be lots of images of that online.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, if sometimes what you were saying that if we're able to attach a word
Yes.
to our emotion, it helps us.
It actually regulate more. So it loses that activation a little bit if we can voice the feeling behind it. And if we're not sure, there's always like some general words. Like you're either feeling distance towards somebody or you're feeling closeness. So you can start there and then try to find a feeling associated with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So this actually is perfect because my live yesterday is about the power and the usage of words. So I think it's very, very powerful, but definitely you need to practice it. So I just saw some of the people here who have taken before. I could tell that they got a grasp of it a lot quicker than the people who's first time because we're trying to process and trying to understand and include everything here. Whereas some people are like, oh yeah, you included this, you got this, you got this. I'm like, oh, okay, you must have done this before.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I hope to have a part 2 we can just practice.
That would be amazing. And thank you so much for sharing and holding this workshop.
Yeah. I'm passionate about it and I appreciate your support.
Awesome, anytime. All right, friends,
Thanks.
time to practice some solid
Solid communication.
communication. There you go. Have a great night, my friends.